In other words, it is not physics. It says nothing about particle physics or quantum mechanics or anything that. It talks about time, which is not matter. We have been obsessed with matter for millennia, have thought of time as just something passing by, couldn't really get a handle on it. But maturity will mean getting a handle on it. And everything I've said about the historical process and how puzzling it is true in our own lives. For instance, you may have noticed that every day is sort of like every other day, and yet every day is different. This is this fractal nature of things working, and there are days of great advance, but they are embedded in this larger matrix of a pretty steady state situation. I studied with Wes Churchman, who was a futurist, and he used to like to say that most of the future is already present in the present. And it's this kind of idea. So what I was able to do with this I Ching wave, and what I offer as the proof, or at least the place where pressure should be put on the theory if we want to falsify it, is we wrote a computer program which very rapidly sorts through the wave on many levels and will draw the graph of novelty for any point in time. And it will draw it on different scales. We can, like, say you were interested in the French Revolution, 1789. We can throw a picture up on the screen which shows you 1788, 89, and 90. And you can then ask yourself, does this line fulfill my intuition of how a novelty curve descriptive of the French Revolution should look? But suppose you're a specialist, you're interested only in the assassination of Marat. Okay, then we can look at the 19 days in 1789 surrounding his assassination on the 20th of July, and so forth. But where it is really interesting is in application to our own lives. And there then you have a personal body of information that you can try against the wave to see if in fact it fits your intuition of how your life should work. There are a couple of people here who have counseled with me one-on-one where we've actually looked at their life and then on into the future. It goes right on into the future to 2012. And of course 2012 is just my choice. After a lot of reflection, I chose that as the apocalyptic zero date. The program is set up, so early in the program you can enter any apocalyptic zero date. And then you search for best fit. And the way I use it is I like to go to the scale where there is 19 years on the screen, or I mean 3 years on the screen, or even 200 years on the screen. And then I'll go way back, and then it has a continue function, and I just fly over the mountains of time. And when I see a steep valley, I dive into it and blow up the fractal landscape. And then the program has a function called near, which is a historical data file, and you can just hit a button, and it will tell you ascension of Artaxerxes, 514 BC. There it is, look! His son was an idiot, but then he came on, and the wave, it fits, it works, this is it, it's all clear. And so it's a way of modeling history, and if I could contort it into a video game, my life would be much easier.
We've tried to take a different approach to time in video games. So what we've done is not given the player control over rewind or fast forward or pause like a VCR. We've actually thrust them into a story that drives them between eras. In this case, the player's experiencing a time wave.
At this moment of levity, what I'd like to suggest is that we have a very short break.
I was about to suggest it. Joan has offered to moderate with me, and we'll see if we can't generate some fast-paced repartee.
Yeah, we should do that. Why don't we introduce ourselves, starting with...
My name's Adele Getty.
And what do you do?
I'm a ceremonialist.
I'm Francis Huxley. I'm a visitor to Arguelles. Well, that says everything. When you see what Arguelles consists of and who's here, to be a visitor here is a large honor and a peculiar onus.
I'm Barbara Smith, and I'm a performance artist and sort of ceremonialist as well.
Lloydina Arguelles, co-precipitator with Jose.
I'm Jose Arguelles. I'm a harmonic convergenist.
I'm Ralph Abraham. I'm a precipitate.
Unregenerate precipitate.
My name is Kat. I'm Terence's partner and mother of our children and an artist when I have time.
And I'm Peter Ballin. I'm the painter of the Shooting Child.
Terence McKenna.
And Joan Halifax, inciter.
Frenzy.
When you incite, do you make incisions?
Incisor. Well, incisette. Oh dear. Well, Terence introduced the pre-existing notion of peer review into council, and since the peers were assembled, and it's not only been a view, but for some of us a review of Terence's material, but not only that, a review, interestingly enough for quite a few of us, of our own epistemologies. I thought it might be timely at this moment in our day to hear from various of the council faculty their perspective on what Terence has been saying this morning, which is what it has been, and what they might have to add by contrast or parallel. So I'd like to throw the gauntlet, straw dog, into the middle of council and not move linearly, but just to see what cooks out in terms of reflections. Who's got the nerve?
I would think someone would be outraged. I mean,
Well, I'm outraged.
oh, good.
Hold the straw dog, please.
What is it you're outraged by?
Well, I just really expected more from Terence because because obviously the mushroom must speak the truth. So we have to take this seriously. But yet it's just another calendar, as Terence said. Well, we just have another calendar. Isn't that what you said?
I said that at a moment. Then I explained how that wasn't true.
So, but isn't it, this fantasy of time is based upon the certain linear image that one date follows another and so on. And if time really existed, then calendars like this would be true. Or they could be true or false. They would be proposition. We take the calendar and, as your computer program does, hold up to the line of history, which you seem to have memorized.
That line of history.
It fits or it doesn't fit. If it doesn't fit, move it. Now, I find it amazing that you could fit, you know, on the point of 1945 and then come up with 2012, and then this turns out to concur with the other calendar of these other folks that probably never, in their worst shamanist nightmare, imagined 1945. But
You never know.
you never know, right? So that's when they quit, right, and left the cities. But I think that there is no such thing as time. And that if you think there's time, then there will be. So the illusion of time is created by the having of calendars.
Well, so I agree. What I've said about this theory is that if it were widely accepted, the future would cease to exist.